Yeah, so welcome
How's
back.
been? How's work been? How's the week been?
It's been
Start it
good.
off.
I must admit, I'm very happy. There's it's been good to see there's lots of donut days. That's what Melbourne been calling it, donut days. For getting zero cases and zero deaths in a day. So it's been good, and I think we've had about I don't know 13, 12 days in a row now. So kind of slowly getting back into the usual groove of a COVID normal society, I guess. Pubs and all that are opening back up. We're now allowed to go outside our 25k area, which has been. I actually haven't had to do that yet, but that went down I think Monday. So I'm pretty keen to get back into the city. Yeah, it's been
Pub yet?
weird. Yeah, what's that?
Have you been to the pub yet?
Nah, not yet. I think we're gonna go out for someone's birthday on the 28th of November. So hopefully get on the beers then, because
Nice.
I haven't actually had a nice drinking since probably grand final day. I think I got. And that was just at home anyway. It was pretty boring, but yeah, I'm pretty keen to get back out there again and start with meeting some new people and stuff. Yeah, it's been.
What? No, no. I think the sad thing is, I was thinking about this the other day. I think me and you have had one drink at the pub together. One
Yeah, I know.
before you left. It was literally
Yeah,
like what 2 days before you left or something like that. We went to the pub once.
and that was
But
only because you
yeah.
only
I mean,
just turned 18 as well.
yeah. I just turned 18. It was a bit of bad timing, but no. Welcome back to the Shaggers Show, episode 8 this week.
Yeah, it is. Um,
Waiting for a big
Actually,
one. Last week was a really good episode.
yeah, we're pretty late to the, I guess, podcasting game. However, there was a new podcast that started actually after us, by Cal Freezy and the Burnt Chip. I don't know if you saw that one, so I've got a new competitor. I think we're higher than them already on the charts. I think they're a bit below us, but
I think so, yeah. We are pushing for that number one Logan Paul impulsive spot.
he's, yeah, I'm not sure
We're also right behind Dill Buckley for number one Australian podcast,
exactly. And we're a bit
Australian sports
more,
podcast.
even though we have missed a couple of weeks, we've been quite consistent, I can say that. And more consistent than the List Cloggers episode. I was very disappointed. Like, obviously, we don't like our competitors, but sometimes we gotta listen to some other podcasts. And I was a bit sad last week that they I can't remember what the reason was, but Dan Orange had to go on Instagram and apologize to everyone that there was no episode, even though they only done like one episode before that or two or something like that.
Two episodes to have a week off. We at least got to four.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, no. Apparently it was because like they opened up the restrictions and stuff like that, so they wanted to go head pub. It's what they put like a little
Yeah,
thing up on in their Instagram.
yeah. It's a
But
bit
that's not
lazy.
that's not us. See
No,
how long have the pubs been open for you, and we're still granting it out.
exactly right. It's got nothing to do with the fact that I have no friends over here. No, just kidding. But yeah, so lots of things have happened during the week. Congratulations to Joe Biden. He got elected as
Javine did win it.
yeah. Oh fuck, I forgot to look just before, and
Look, just
yeah,
just coming in. A lot of things have happened in the past hour. Jaden Stevenson officially a North Melbourne Roo.
yeah,
He's been traded 5 years. What is it? 2.5 million over 5 years.
yeah. So
So
he was on a contract at Collingwood, I think, for about 550, I think, a year. Um, and so I think North Melbourne were happy to spend, I think, all of that. So if they weren't happy to spend that money, say they only wanted to pay 400 for him a year, then Collingwood would have to contribute to paying his like wage or whatever. But
but that means Colin we have to spend 50 grand a year then to
yeah,
like subsidize it.
yeah, I think so. I don't know the actual numbers or what like because obviously there's lots of speculation on what players are actually on. A bit like the Alan Trelaw situation, he's reportedly on 900k, and Collingwood don't want to spend that much money anymore because he's pretty inconsistent. Gets He's a really good player, but gets injured a little bit too much for their liking, and they want to move him on. even though he wants to stay. It'll be interesting for Jaden. Dusty stayed at Richmond, stayed loyal, and it paid off. Jaden Stevenson could have stayed at Collingwood. He could have, obviously, I don't think Collingwood wanted him, but he could have said, "No, I want to stick to what I know." Stay at Collingwood, which he was enjoying, even though he had a bad season and it could have been due to COVID, but um, he could have relied on his ability to get back and play good footy, but he's jumped ship. So hopefully he does well at North Melbourne because he's a real exciting prospect for the future, and hopefully he kicks lots of goals.
I think the difference between the Dusty and the Jaden Stevenson thing is like you got Collingwood wanting to move on from Jaden Stevenson, like looking to shop him, whereas Richmond wanted Dusty to stay, but Dusty was the free agent with the power. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
true.
it's the same with the Treloar thing. Like if like no one's able to pick up Treloar, who was it? Western Bulldogs are supposed to be the suitors for Treloar now.
Yeah.
If they can't get a deal done, like you can't be Treloar going back to Collingwood. Like Collingwood can't take him back, or
no, they can't. But they also announced that Ben Brown's heading to Demonland, which is a great pickup for us. We just need.
I was gonna say that's a really good pickup for Melbourne to see that.
But
going back to the Collingwood thing, really shittily move done by Collingwood. You can't if you look at it, if you want players to sign these back-ended deals, where you know they take a little bit of money up front and then get majority of it towards the end, and then look to move them on, like what, a year on, 2 years on into their contract.
Yeah.
Like you can't expect another player to sign that deal with confidence when you're going to go shop them away straight away. But anyway, yeah, Big Brown's big pull for Melbourne.
Yeah, so he's a good player, I must admit. He had a bit of a slump, but I did see a stat where he came he's been in the top 5 for Coleman in the last 3 seasons or 4 seasons. So hopefully he does really well for us. But he's obviously a really good player, but it depends on Melbourne's midfield to deliver him the footy properly. So obviously Melbourne are known for just smashing the ball into the forward 50, don't really look for leads or whatever. And you always see, Ben Brown at his best is him leading up at the footy. He's got a fucking long arm, so all he has to do is hold out his arms in front of his head, and he's pretty much marking the ball. So I don't know if Melbourne's the best suit for that, because Melbourne can't fucking hit up a target and just bomb it in high and hope for the best. So hopefully we learn to play with him. But it looks like that Melbourne would keep Tom McDonald as well, so he might be playing.
Say that him moving to Melbourne is having Petrarca and Clayton Oliver deliver the footy, rather than who I don't even know who's Jai Simpkin or whatever it is from North Melbourne. Like who's the North Melbourne midfielders?
Jed Anderson as well, and he just I think just signed another deal with them. So he's going to be hanging around. But North Melbourne have been pretty busy in getting players in and out, even though they have no coach, which is a bit silly. I would think you would go to your coach to look at, who do you want to bring to the club? Who's actually running the show there? Obviously, they've got a list manager and he has an opinion, but you would have thought, if you were a coach, you would want to pick and choose your own players and think that, that guy I want because he's really coachable. And so, yeah. But other pickups, who else we had? Jack Higgins to St Kilda, I think. That's a good little move for him. He might get more game time.
How many Jacks do St Kilda want?
They got rid of Jack Stevens, but they had another Jack. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Sean Higgins to Geelong.
Higgins to Geelong. Steph Martin moved to
the Doggies.
moved
the
to the Bulldogs.
He'll be their backup ruckman.
Brisbane picked up. Who was it? Nikia Cockatoo and
Joey Danaher. So they're getting their forward line sorted. Hopefully Cockatoo can get his injuries right, which is possible. Lots of players who get injured at their former club and move to a new club, like, say, Harley Bennell, had all these injury problems at Fremantle and moved to Melbourne, and he played a couple of games, and it was unfortunate to see him retire. But Brad Crouch got picked up by St Kilda. Jesse Hogan moved to GWS. Zach Williams and Side head to Carlton. I think that would be really good next year. Hopefully, I was unlucky to see that Charlie Cameron fell down to another knee injury. But they look like they're going to be potential top 8. I think some of those teams in the top 8 might fall down from this year. Hopefully, like a Collingwood or some of those teams that just made it last time.
Yeah, well, sorry, contested like lower half that top 8.
Yeah.
So definitely some of those moves will open up a bit more. But do you reckon so? There's 2 big trades that are looking to happen. Hopefully, would be the Jeremy Cameron to Geelong.
Yeah.
That's not been finalised yet, and you've also got the Treloar to Bulldogs. Do you reckon both of those get done, or do you reckon they go through the draft? Or
so, and then also to add to that list, you have Josh Dunkley from Western Bulldogs. I think he was heading to Essendon.
Oh yeah.
So, I think those trades. I don't think they'll head to the draft because similar like Tim Kelly. Tim Kelly was meant to go to West Coast a couple of years ago. But Geelong weren't happy with the picks that West Coast were giving them, so they was like, all right, we'll keep Kelly for another year. Another year rotates around, and so West Coast are able to pick him up. So you could potentially see Jeremy Cameron not get the deal done, even though I think it will. But yeah, I think Essendon may. I think definitely Treloar will happen, and we've got until I think 7 o'clock our Melbourne time, so I think there's about an hour to go. So they very hurried things up, but yeah, it's gonna be an exciting finish. Hopefully, we might still be doing the podcast this episode, and we can finish up with those trades being done. But yeah, what do you think?
Go through. Look, I think the Jeremy Cameron will definitely be getting done. I think. Look, I don't know. I don't think Jeremy. I think Jeremy Cameron's definitely played his last game for WS. I don't think he's blowing that jersey back on again.
Yeah.
I do think he might be a chance at the draft because his manager was saying stuff about if they can't work out a trade, he's going to go through the draft process again, and then if a team picks him up, sign a 1-year deal, and then just sign with Geelong next year anyway, or for the year after.
That's rough. So who do you reckon will pick him up? Would he go like what? Adelaide would just fucking pick him up, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, well, that's what someone was saying. They were saying that like if a North Melbourne, for example, who have a pick before Geelong, decide to pick up Jeremy Cameron, Jeremy Cameron's manager basically said, okay, well that's like a 1-year loan because he's heading to Geelong the year afterwards anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting.
See, and that's when you got to think about it from WS. Like, do you because yet Geelong have 3 first-round picks and have only offered 2 of them,
true.
And GWS want 3. Did GWS say, okay, but we'll take your 2 first-round picks, or do they risk losing him for nothing through the draft?
Yeah, it's interesting because then if he goes down the draft route, well then he's not going to get paid as much, correct? Or because LA can just say, well, you're a fucking coming through the draft, we only give you what I would normally give like a young kid, surely. Or I don't even know how that would work.
I don't think there's I don't think there's a maximum how much. So but that he would end up probably signing like a maybe one year like 200,000 or 300,000 deal or something like that. Not a massive deal.
When he's worth probably
massive,
7.
But
yeah, he's probably worth about 700, wouldn't you think, or even more? Probably even more. But
100%.
Yeah, but
sorry, just 2 moments. Just turning the slide on.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm professional on the podcast. My bad.
Nah, I can cut it out anyway.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, so I think he's probably worth about 800, 900. He was their captain for a little bit, wasn't he? Or co-captain, or I don't even know.
Yeah, maybe vice captain even. Not 100% sure on that one.
Yeah, so unless he comes out and says, or he's got an hour, but he must really hate the club to go down bloody getting drafted and do all that. And I don't think that's ever happened, or maybe not to that scale of a player that they haven't got the deal done, so they've just gone back through the draft. Like, can you name a player that's done that before, or have you heard anyone?
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be interesting.
But I don't know. It's got to be something up wrong at that club, because you got all those players there. We said it potentially could be Leon Cameron.
Yeah, I've heard Leon Cameron's a bit of a dick.
Being a bit of a bad coach, but
yeah, I've heard.
I don't know. I just think things. I don't know. My views, because Jeremy Cameron's been pretty vocal about wanting to leave. You can't really, like, personally, if I was playing footy, professional footy, just say I play for the Dockers, I want to secure a move to St Kilda.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go the whole trade period, be like, oh, I want to trade. I'm gonna go through the draft, and then go back and play for him again. Like, as a teammate, when your teammates do that, you're gonna be looking at them pretty funny.
Yeah. Also, along with like the footy talk that we're doing right now, so this is unprofessional again. I'm just looking up, just making sure what this chick's name is. But earlier in the week, all right, Lisa Alexander. Do you know who that is? Firstly, I didn't know who it was, so it's fine that you don't know who she is. Lisa Alexander. So she is a retired Australian netball coach, and so she came out and said on the week that
I know who she is now. Yeah, I
know
who she is.
So she said that she is ready to be an AFL head coach. Has no experience, or that I believe that she has been with a footy team at all at any level. So whether that is or maybe junior level, but junior is a big jump to a head coach at a footy club like, say, North Melbourne, who have an open spot at the moment. So she's come out and said that she's too good to be an AFLW coach, and that she should jump straight from another code to the AFL, which, what's your thoughts on that, pretty much?
When I first saw it, I was in the what is this? Why would you think? But still a bit in that level. Is my audio all good?
Yeah.
We good? Okay, good. Just making sure. My little bar over there was a bit weird for a second. But so I was in that same boat. But then also now I read it. Apparently it works, right? But not in the head coaching sense. So I think that she probably doesn't have a career in being a head coach. But if she's done all these things, apparently she's not even that good of a netball coach either. Apparently she underperformed when she was the coach of the team of Australian netball. So I did some research. I do nothing at work, so I just was reading articles about it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But apparently in the Australian I don't know what they call it, like the soccer I don't know.
The federation or whatever.
Is it Federation of Football Australia, whatever it is?
Yeah.
So whatever it is, yeah. Apparently there was a guy from rugby who was like a high up in the rugby thing, works for them now and has done alright. And there's been other cases of like head coaches or like other people from rugby or footy or stuff like that so like a head coach, not head coach, but like maybe an assistant coach from AFL, then turning into like a assistant rugby coach or something like that, because there's might not be the aspects like head coach is probably like, you got your tactics going down and stuff like that, but with an assistant coach there's still big like the skill of coaching is pretty like, I don't know, it's you can apply it to all the different types of sports. It's just like the tactics and stuff like that. So maybe instead of like a head coach, she might be alright to be brought in as maybe like an assistant coach or like an advisor position maybe of something like that, but definitely not. I don't think she's good enough or warranted like a head coaching gig at the moment. I mean, she might do well at a head assistant coach and then be like, oh, I've got this experience, I can be a head coach, but yeah, not at the moment, I don't think.
Yeah, even I don't think she's ready. So she's come from a sport, like obviously a different sport. Like you can take that kind of out of the picture. She's been coaching women, which she'll jump to coaching men, which is a huge like jump and very different, like mentally, obviously, physically they're a lot different. So like with the boys respect her, obviously it comes back down to like gender equality and like just because and what gets me is before she said I can't actually remember what she said, but she said something like, oh, I'm not being disrespectful, or no, she said I'm not being arrogant, but then says all this arrogant stuff about she's better than their AFLW and stuff like that. But even if she isn't ready for, or she's too good for the AFLW, I still think that going to be like a head coach, if she wants to be a head coach, she can be a head coach. Go do it like at semi-professional like club in Victoria, if that's where she's from, or even going to like be at a VFL club, like making that huge jump to an AFL assistant, even an assistant coach, is like probably unheard of.
No, look. I don't think especially if changing codes, unless you get personally like invited. Well, obviously it's gonna be a personal invite, but unless you get invited, like like we would like you to join our system like that. Like you can't just be like, oh yeah, I want this job because I've done this in a completely different code. And like I was reading, like I know obviously Facebook comments probably either side is everyone will either love her or hate her. There's no like kind of in between thing. But there's a lot of the comments that I was reading about it on the article on Facebook afterwards. And they were saying that apparently the team that she had with the netball thing, she didn't even do that well with them. Like they didn't perform.
Yeah.
So if you can't do it, and that's supposed to be your sport, imagine trying to jump that to the footy, especially if she had established herself, because she probably would have an easy walk to an AFLW coaching gig if she thinks she's that good. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still still like you'd say AFLW is still pretty not grassroots, but it's still pretty starting up. You think maybe assistant coach, head coach, something like that, if there was an opening at AFLW, but to then try to go to AFL, not have any experience, as well as try to get the locker room to respect you, because that's a massive thing as well. If the guys aren't respecting you and don't fully believe in you, then you're not gonna start winning games. It's just gonna be worse off for North Melbourne anyway. And I don't know. I don't think they would respect her if she's not proven herself like that, especially compared to this talk of they want to get Paul Roos or Mick Malthouse or something like that in, like a big coaching like legend, and then instead if they choose her, I don't think she'd have that respect at all.
Yeah, and I agree when you said that. She's pretty much written her own resume and said, "I want that job." Like that's not how it works. Like people give you a job. You don't say, "Oh, I want to be."
You can obviously apply for it and stuff like that, but you can't be sitting there in the media saying, "Oh, well, I'm better than all these other guys, these candidates. This I should be here." Like if you don't get it, it's sexist, stuff like that. Like no, like especially with like professional sport, like there's so many like intangibles with it, as well as having a good resume. And yes, you might have a good resume in one sport, but you know what I mean. Like I can't walk up to Perth Glory and be like, "Oh, put me in charge of your under-18s team. I took Brentford from the League One to Champions League in FIFA. Like my resume's stacked. Like I can't do that."
Yeah, I know.
So like just because she can do that, like she can't even do that. Like maybe netball, if she wants to coach like a super netball team, whatever it is, Super League team.
Yeah.
In netball, like she probably could do that, but you can't switch codes and expect. It's not a top job. It's probably the shittest job in the league, not the North Melbourne coaching gig. But you can't expect a job at the top.
Yeah, I agree. And should be way down the list. Obviously, you said like even like a Ross Lyon, you'd put him way above her name.
100%, yeah. You'd probably put half the assistant coaches in the competition as well above her, because they've got the experience of actually coaching AFL footy.
Yeah. I heard some stuff about. So obviously, do you think Ross Lyon's a really good coach? Like just from what you see, or
yeah. You gotta say yeah. I'd say he's a good coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely not in the same bracket as like a Mick Malthouse or Paul Rose or something like that. He's a good coach. He's not an amazing coach, I don't think. I mean, he struggled. He couldn't win the premiership with Freo for the chance they got there. He couldn't win it with St Kilda.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Freo had that one good year and then they were kind of shit ever since. And he was the rebuild that never happened until
it was too late.
Justin Longmuir got in.
Yeah.
So and he's like every progress. Like there's kind of a stark difference between what he did and all that. So I'd say he's a good coach, not an amazing one, but a good coach.
Yeah. So I heard a little story. I didn't know this. So when he was with St Kilda, and they made that grand final, I didn't realize that. So obviously, as a coach, you want to have a good relationship with all your players, but unfortunately had a bad relationship with, I think it was Luke Ball. And at that time, I think he did go to Collingwood in the end, but Luke Ball, he played for St Kilda. And so I'm pretty sure in that grand final would have been Oh no, it would have been 09, I think. Or maybe even 2010.
So 2010 grand final was St Kilda versus Collingwood.
Yeah, but
So the
09,
replay.
the 09 one
Okay,
was St Kilda and I think Geelong.
Was it? Oh, was it?
Yeah. And so whatever grand final it was, Ross Lyon didn't like him, so he was gunning it that game. St Kilda had a hot start, whether it was against Geelong or Collingwood, but Ross Lyon, being Ross Lyon, didn't like him. He pulled him off the ground for most of the for 10 or so minutes in the second quarter, even though Luke Ball had a really good start to the game. Just because he didn't like him, he pulled him off, and could have potentially been the deciding factor. And obviously St Kilda went on to lose both of those grand finals, or at least I don't think it was against. No, it wasn't against Geelong. Oh,
yeah, I googled it. It was St Kilda versus Geelong. You were on the money there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't even know St Kilda had made that grand final.
Yeah.
But, that's
yeah.
That's just, I don't know. You got to look at stuff like that and be like, how unprofessional can you really get? Especially that's his job to win premierships, guide the guys to premierships.
Yeah.
And then to pull it just because you don't like someone, like, I don't know. If I was in that gig, you'd have to put the differences aside in the grand final and be like, well, if you had a hot start, then
yeah,
exactly. you can keep playing, stay on the ground.
And so the irony of the whole story is, so Luke Ball decided to move to Collingwood that season. So 09 they lost, and so the following year Luke Ball's versing his old team in the granny, and I guess it was poetic justice that St Kilda went on to lose that grand final, and Luke Ball was able to manage to win would have been his first premiership. So shout out to Luke Ball. Another controversial call that Ross Lyon made was playing a guy called, and we love this player, Zach Dawson, household name of the AFL. Bit of a stick, but he decided to play Zach Dawson through the back line, I'm pretty sure, and was pretty shit at, he did his best. We all know that every AFL player tries their best, and that's Justin Raponi, but he was really not up to AFL standard at that point, because a full back, you want him to be nice and strong, not get pushed around too much. But Zach Dawson was good in glimpses, but sometimes lost his focus and got heaps of goals kicked on him. And so another call that Ross Lyon, I'm pretty sure, made was to play this young kid Zach Dawson instead of a really good defender. So could have been another reason why. And you can always nitpick half the game of reasons why.
Yeah, well, they say hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah,
especially with I don't know, everyone's when it comes to grand final day, everyone's a bit of a backseat coach, I guess. I feel like there's definitely some other factors that probably would have led to his decision, but he's an alright coach. I definitely wouldn't put him as an amazing coach.
No.
Going on, today was the big day. PlayStation 5s came out. Me and you both got fucked over a little bit, if we're being completely honest.
Well, you read my mind, because I was exactly like, all right, we need to move on here. And I was like, PlayStation 5, here we go. So, I'll tell my story. I didn't get scammed per se. I got finessed pretty much. I don't get finessed too often, but congratulations, congratulations to EB Games. You finessed. You finessed me and a lot of people, I'm sure. So, September, I think it was mid-September when they announced they're gonna put the PlayStation 5 up for sale, and so lots of people had to rush online to get it and pre-order it pretty much. And so when I went on to pre-order it from EB Games, I saw that some people were having issues. I saw in the group chat, they're like, "Oh, it's already sold out." So I'm like, "Fuck, I need to get on." I look at JB Hi-Fi and they had already sold out. And then I look onto EB Games, and funnily enough, and Justin did say that they sold out, but I go on there and they haven't sold out. So I'm like, all right, what's happened here? And then I see I saw delivery date or day it comes out, and it said 2020. I'm like, all right, that's all right. So 2020, that's when it's meant to come out anyway, 2020 November 12th anyway. So I'm like, cool, I'll order that. Obviously, I wasn't late to the party. To find that, yeah, it was 2020, right? But it was the 31st of December 2020. So they didn't lie, but they just completely finessed me. And so me thinking like 2 days ago, I'm like, oh, I should have an email saying what day or whether you want to pick it up or do you want it dropped off at your house. I go and look at my receipt saying, oh, delivery date 31st of December. So but on EB Games after which I'm not like I'm a bit devastated. Not gonna lie, I could be playing I'm on a little new console. Oh, actually, it's a huge console. But yeah, I did get finesse. What about you? What happened?
Like, not gonna lie, when I was buying my PlayStation 5, I must have the same thing because I hopped on and I checked EB and JB and they both said sold out. I was like, fuck. And I refreshed both of them and then they're both like, oh, 2021 shipment. No, it was 2020 shit, like 2020 shipment. I was like, oh, like second shipment, whatever it was. And I was like, oh, and I was like, and then it says like, it did say down the bottom, it was like, oh, like December or something like that release date. And I was like, I'm not waiting an entire month for it. So I was like, all right, I'll try find else. And then Target, you had to buy the whole thing, like pay for the whole thing. And I was like, oh, I don't want to pay for the whole thing now. So then I ended up finding Big W, managed to put it on Afterpay, and this didn't save me, but did all right.
Yeah.
And so anyway, thing with Big W is though, so if I bought it from Target, I could have bought it from Target at the time, but I just preferred to have the money in my account. So
yeah, makes you feel more richer. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, like if you need it. So Target, anyway, so Target today, our mate, plays for Shag as well, Duncan. He bought his from Target, right? And they got an option like, oh, do you want it delivered or just go pick up? So he, him and his mate stood outside of Target at 7:30 today and waited half an hour for them to open their doors at 8 to go pick up their PlayStation 5s.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, he's all happy with it. And then I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh, I didn't get an option. I only chose for mine to be shipped to me, to be delivered. I was like, oh yeah, too easy. Well, you'd think that if you're delivering something to someone, especially something as popular as the PlayStation 5, you'd probably send it like a couple days early, so it gets to their house. Or if not, like it'd be like maybe the day before if it's in the same state. But mine got shipped today, from New South Wales. So it's gonna travel from fucking New South Wales to here. It's expected to be here by Tuesday next week. But who does that? Yeah, I didn't get an option to pick it up, and then who ships it from New South Wales to WA? So I've still got to wait for mine. Not a massive finesse. I'm still getting it, but I could be having it set up nice and probably playing some quality FIFA tonight. But I would be stuck on my old PlayStation 4 for a while. Not a while, but extra week.
That's not too bad. The annoying thing was so everyone makes the commitment, and that's why they do put like a deposit on it. So like if I decided to go. Like, pretty sure some people that didn't pre-order it, they just went into the store and picked it up because they were selling something that happened at, I know Harvey Norman did it. I think Target did it because I don't know if Ben pre-ordered it, but he just rocked up with all of his mates, and I think he missed out, but then I saw a story later that he was able to get one, so I'm happy for him as well.
Sorry, just that was don't want me to ruin the parade, but that was Duncan's and his other mates.
Was it?
Yeah, Ben didn't get to pick one up.
Oh yeah,
he was because Ben went with Duncan and I don't know who the other mate was.
Yeah,
and then they like Duncan and his mate picked it up and they headed out in the back seat, and then it was just like his Snapchat like, oh, I secured the bag when he didn't manage to secure one.
So yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. I know, but then on his story later, he had the PlayStation 5, like, so and he's put on his story. Yeah, I don't know. You can look it up, but
that's a great pickup from him because people are complaining about JB Hi-Fi. I don't know if that made the cut in the podcast. We were talking about how JB Hi-Fi had to release a thing saying that they're not getting any more PlayStation 5s till next year, and they're trying to secure some more and all that. But surely you'd think if you're Sony, you'd be turning up overdrive on actually like making them at least because they sold out in 10 minutes. I was lucky enough to grab one. My mate, I bought one from Big W. Our mate Raj, frequent guest on the podcast. I sent him the same link I bought mine on, and they'd sold out 2 seconds after I'd bought mine. Yeah. So it is a bit stiff. Rewards come out today. FIFA, did you?
Yeah, move on.
Foot chabs.
Yeah, I fucking hate FIFA at the moment. Pretty much, doesn't everyone? So I'm at the stage where I don't get anything in my rewards, and FIFA do this to everyone. Or I do believe that if you spend money on FIFA points, that they will reward you, right? Like a Jacko or Justin, I know that they heavily would. Yeah, but I think you're the rare case that they haven't. Or they did reward you with a Mendy.
They reward me with the one player that went for 130k, and other than that, they absolutely destroy me.
But they do reward the players like you, and hopefully today they decide to change their mind. But yeah, I still believe, because I still haven't paid a cent other than obviously purchasing the game online. But yeah, I still haven't really packed anyone worth anything. I did pack Allison, which I decided to keep anyway, and he at that time he was worth 100k. But you might as well keep an Allison, since he's probably one of the best keepers on the game. Other than, I think Old Black might be a bit better. But
I mean, Nick Pope seems to be the meta at the moment.
Yeah, he's in form.
6'7".
Does he have an inform or nah?
No, he just his normal card, because if you put, see, this is where the YouTube videos come in handy, right? I've been doing some study, because I was watching Foot Champs. So I was like, why do both of these players have Nick Pope as their goalkeeper? And I versed someone. I was like, why does he have Nick Pope as his goalkeeper?
Same, yeah.
So I was watching some videos, and apparently, if you buy Nick Pope and put a cat on him, so his like reflexes go up, he's like how unstoppable. He's like unstoppable because he's 6'7", so he's lanky as, and he just gets every single save.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I did wonder why someone had like someone like him as well. But Team of the Week did come out today as well. I saw that Thiago Silva. So I know that you have his wants to watch card. I'm pretty sure, don't you? Not if you do.
No, I don't.
I
I
thought you
don't have
did.
his watch card. No,
I missed out.
I used to be a big fan of Shaggers Silver until I moved to Laporte and Alderweireld. But no, this Team of the Week is actually insane. Like, there are some broken cards in there.
Yeah.
You got the Lorente. That looks insane. I don't have a La Liga team, so I'm not gonna buy him or use him. But because apparently his gold card's like broken as well.
Yeah.
There's an Ollie Watkins. I don't know if I might have to be tempted to buy an Ollie Watkins just to suss him out, see if he's any better than his first crappy inform.
90 pace though.
91 pace. Yeah, 91 pace. It looks like he got some good shooting stats. Put a hunch on it. Might have to sell Jamie Vardy, but
he'll be worth a little bit more than last time, I reckon. Probably like 20k, 30k.
Yeah, exactly. But I might even see, not even buy him yet, see how people reckon how he goes on Footbin, and then just wait for a down day when people start selling off their teams and pick him up.
Yeah, exactly. I know there's a Bruno Fernandes. Oh, how do you say his last name? I know that I've seen a TikTok on it. Is it?
Because like Fernandes or something like that.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess who cares? It's Fernandes. I get probably different pronunciations in different languages.
Exactly. But his card looks insane, so I'll be looking to pack him in one of my player picks.
I was looking to buy him because I'm looking for a new cam to replace James Rodriguez. He's just not kind of anymore. Need a bit of a better cam because Ziyech is the most broken card I've ever played with.
Broken in shithouse or
no, so good. He's just so good. Like, so happy I picked him up. Him and Vardy up top. Vardy, a little bit of room for improvement. He's not bad, but I wouldn't say he's like the most clinical striker. He does miss some pretty easy shots, and I don't know. Is it just like because you play with Vardy, right?
Yeah.
Is it just me, or do you think sometimes? So there's been the amount of times I've been 1-on-1 with the keeper, and I'll be holding circle, but he will take too long to actually start doing the shooting animation. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I know 2K and stuff like that. It's big with like, oh, make sure you've got the fastest jump shot and like all that type of stuff. But like FIFA, you don't really notice it too much. But I feel like every time Jamie Vardy, I didn't have that problem so much with Rodrigo. But every time I'm like 1-on-1 with the keeper and I got like the defender chasing me, it always takes that half second to get that shot off, like too long. And by then the keeper's run up and he's got a knee to it or a leg to it or something like that. So definitely, hopefully that Ollie Watkins is a good card. Might pick him up, take him over Vardy maybe.
Yeah, I found that I don't even play him striker anymore. I play him at cam, which is kind of stupid because he's got shit passing. But with players like that, he's got good skills and he's got good pace, so you can kind of justify why I put him there. But even with Werner up at front, like sometimes he takes massive touches, which is like a bit like Rashford. But we did have someone in the PS4 party did pull a massive player during the week. in one of
This
those.
This is when it comes down to how broken FIFA is. I don't understand how both of our luck has been atrocious, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a blessing in disguise because now we've got something to talk about on our podcast each week is how shit our pack luck is. So probably a bit of a blessing in disguise. But this guy packs everything. All right, his team is only good because he's got that giant pack luck. Him and Jacko.
Yeah, I know.
And then I'll let you reveal who he packs. But massive pool.
Yeah, so a character named Lim Jim Young goes, and he's pretty good at FIFA. He's not as good as me, even though he claims that he is. But anyway, so he opens up one of those 81 plus Champions League plays, I believe. I think that's what they're called, or rare plays.
The untradeable Champions League upgrade.
Yeah, there you go. And they're pretty decent. Like you'll get everyone's a walkout.
I packed a Sane in mine. It was a not bad super sub for Bale. I use him quite frequently. Won me a few games.
Exactly. And yeah, so this guy, everyone thought he was capping when he did say it, but he didn't even say you could say, oh, Argentina, or if you're buddy Duncan and you're getting De Bruyne, he'd be like, oh, German, and when it's clearly a fucking Belgian flag. So yeah, basically Youngie packed a Messi, which is completely bullshit, and it's his Champions League card. It's untradeable though. So
yeah, I was gonna say silver lining, it is untradeable, but I put. I'm not gonna say I put the group on because everyone was gonna start doing them. Obviously, I put Justin onto these packs, right? So
yeah,
I did a half day on Monday, I think it was, and on the train home, I was just looking through, and I followed this guy on Facebook who's like a FIFA streamer on Facebook, and he's like, "Oh, what do you guys think of this SBC?" And it was the UCL upgrade ones, and everyone was like, "Oh, like yeah, they're so broken." People start posting pictures of their packs, and the amount of people that had packed like an Mbappe or a Messi, or just like a big card like that, and I was like, "Fuck, surely they're not that juiced." So I go home, do one, pick a Sane, and I'm like, you know what? That's probably my pack luck. That's good. So I just left it at that. I was like, I'll concede that's the best card I'm gonna get done with it.
Yeah.
Then I tell Justin. Justin does about 5.
Yeah.
And he packs no one. Youngie gets the Messi. You got me with the best prank I've ever seen.
It's
so
classic.
basically, I'm going on Monday. I play we've got rec league basketball. I'm out with like Raj and CJ getting some food before we go play basketball, and our group chat. The troops. I get a picture from Drew. I'm like, I'll open it, and it's a Mo Salah UCL card. And Drew says something along the lines of, "Oh, just pack Salah." And I'm like, how has he just packed Salah when I get a Sane? And I was like, surely not. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then I'm coming to party on Tuesday, just Justin in. I'm just talking to Justin, like, yeah, I can't believe Drew packed Salah. And he just starts laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing for? And he's like, you fell for it. And I was like, fell for what? And he's like, oh, like, that's just a YouTube video that Drew screenshot. And I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I did troll. And I don't even know, because you weren't in at the time, yeah, so I pretty much revealed to Justin and Jacko about half an hour later. I'm like, oh yeah, no, it wasn't real. But even, I don't know if Youngie probably know now, but he thought I packed it. And Youngie started to prank me where he was like, oh yeah, but it's not upgradable because the Salah, if he reaches the final, he'll be like an insane card, like it upgrades in that way. And so he kept on saying, oh no, but it won't upgrade because you got it in like an untradeable pack or whatever. And I'm like, no, it will. And he's like, no, it won't. I'm like, yeah, it will. And he's like, oh yeah, I was trying to troll you. And I don't even know if he still knows, but yeah.
I'm so dumb though because it's like the one that you pulled, you can't even pull in those packs. You can only pull. You can only pull. So that one's the road to the final version.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can only pull the blue card. You can only pull their base blue card. You can't pull their road to the final. That's only done in the premium gold packs and stuff like that.
Oh, so I didn't even know that.
I'm such an idiot for believing that you pulled it anyway. When people are saying you can't even pull the road to the final one, so I was like, nah, as if Drew just packed it. And I was really exposed myself on Twitter as well because some guy, some streamer that I watch, talk about a lot, Flair FIFA, the one that does all the investing shit. Yeah. He was like, has anyone pulled a road to the final player, any of these players in a like in like a UCL upgrade pack, and I was about to reply and be like, oh, like I have it, but my mate has. He pulled a Salah, and I was like, that's a bit gay, so I'm not gonna do it. I scrolled on, but I really almost just exposed myself because everyone else was like, no, and I was like, nah, I swear you can, I swear you can. But
yeah.
Moving on, I got a bit of a new segment this week. So just scrolling through TikTok, it is an inspiration from a TikTok I saw. But basically, it's called over or underrated. Basically, all right.
Sweet.
So I'm going to list off some things, list off a thing, and you're going to tell me if you think it's over or underrated. If you want to give us a reason why you think that, it'd be pretty good. But yeah, so I just got a little list here. I wrote at work.
Yeah. What's the topic? Like, is it?
It's going to be anything.
Okay.
I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 5.
Of anything in life, pretty much. Or like,
Fun?
It's pretty much anything in life that you think it's overrated or underrated. Or is it like?
Yeah. So yeah, it is. It's Yeah, so it's gonna be like different things. So the first off, over underrated, Pokemon. So big popular thing now. Everyone's opening Pokemon cards. Do you think it's over underrated?
I think it's overrated because I'm not a Pokemon kid, but I do enjoy like, I know Logan Paul did a pack opening and I enjoyed that, even though I knew nothing about it. But I was listening to, I think it was Mini Minter or someone like that, and he was saying that you could get those cards and just make the fakest version of it so easily. Like, if you think about it, all you have to do is like just print out your own little cards, and you have pretty much $1,000 card right there. So, like, why don't more people do that? But personally, I know lots of people enjoy it, but I wasn't that generation of kid, pretty much. So I'll say overrated for me.
Fast and Furious.
Oh, fucking underrated. It's fucking lit.
Underrated?
Yeah, underrated as hell. It's probably one of my favorite, probably the favorite series of all time. Even though like the first ones are the best ones, I'd say number 2 is my favorite. Number 4 is really up there. Oh no, not number 4. Number 5. Number 5.
Surely. Is it number 3, Tokyo Drift? That's
Tokyo Drift.
That's my favorite one. It's not even really like one of them because it doesn't have the main characters. It's just like a spin-off one. But I still, I love that one. Yeah. Number 3. All right. So this will also be uploaded to TikTok. So I'll do a little splicing stuff like that and upload these to TikTok. So a halal snack pack or like a meat box, over or underrated? You know, quite popular with some people, loathed by others.
I'm gonna get roasted here, but I've never had one at all in my life.
Really?
No, never had one at all. I don't think.
You've missed out.
I don't even know what. So what do you wait? Is it a meat box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never. I don't even know what that is. I'm assuming it's just meat.
Pretty much, it's just chips with kebab meat over the top, with like usually 2 sauces on there. So,
sounds nice. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's overrated. It sounds pretty good, but yeah.
All right. So number 4, TikTok thoughts. You know, Addison Rae. What's their other name? Madison Beer, something like that. Under or overrated?
I'll say underrated. Like, you got to admit that they're pretty good. I don't like it how it comes up on my TikTok like that often. Like, I don't even I don't follow any of them on like Instagram or even TikTok. They just show up because obviously TikTok love them to bits and they'll come up on your For You page. But I don't mind watching some of their videos, especially Addison Rae. Shout out to her.
Addison Rae is the best one, and anyone can at me on that. All right? I've been day one. I've said Addison Rae, and the amount of flack I've copped from some people for saying that. Right, but Addison Rae definitely number 1. She's got my heart. All right.
But before we move on, sorry. All right. If you're a big Addison Rae fan, but who would you rather, Charlie or Dixie?
Biggest trap because Charlie's like
15
years old. So I'm gonna go Dixie.
No. But if they're the same, all right. If you're going down that road, all right. But if they were the same age, who like say they're both 18.
so I'm just gonna go with Dixie. I don't find either of them attractive. I don't find either of them attractive, really. I do have a mate. I'm not gonna say names so he doesn't catch a case. But he does prefer Charlie, and I was like, it's a bit weird. She is like 16, 15 or something like that. Because I've always said, oh, Addison Rae's the hottest girl on earth. And he's like, oh no, Charlie D'Amelio is, and then he'll send me TikTok. I've never seen a Charlie D'Amelio TikTok until he sends me them. And it'll be her doing a TikTok, and she's like, she's so fit, and I was like, she's 15. So probably check yourself, mate. But yeah, no, I don't find either of them attractive. I think the oldest is Dixie, yeah. I think she looks like a small dog. She has like the facial structure of like a small like chihuahua or something like that. Now I've said that, you're gonna see her and thing. But so last topic on the over underrated, Star Wars.
Underrated as hell.
Underrated as well. You reckon?
Yeah, it's fucking so good, man. I like the trilogy. The prequels. I like them more than the originals. And also better than the sequels. Yeah. So, yeah, I prefer the 1, 2, 3 of Anakin Skywalker. I love him. He's probably my favorite character, even though I hate number 3 with a passion just because he turns bad. But other than that, nah, I reckon it's so underrated. But yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd in that area.
I rate it. All right. I think Harry Potter and Star Trek get probably not more love, but their fans are probably a bit more vocal with the love for the franchise. You say Harry Potter's not over. Oh, it's probably a little bit overrated compared to what some people make it out. People like dedicate their entire lives to it and shit like that.
I'm not. I'd say I'm not that type. Go on.
I've got one more on my list. I'm just an idiot and didn't see it. So the Marvel MCU. Is that over or underrated? This is a big one.
Overrated, and I'll back this 100%. I'll back this. It's legit the same shit every movie, right? Like, I enjoy the Iron Man ones. I enjoy Iron Man. But like, and I watched all the earlier ones, but I still haven't seen like Black Panther. I still haven't seen like the chick ones. I don't even know what they're called. Captain Marvel. Haven't seen that. So I prefer the Iron Man. Everyone loves Spider-Man. Obviously, I've seen those ones. But if you ask me and say, Drew, you want to go see a Marvel movie on Tuesday? I'll be like, nah. I'll wait to watch it illegally. Thank you. I'm not wasting money on that. Obviously, they earn too much money anyway. But I'll be the first to say, overrated. It's the same movie every time. I'm sorry. Even Endgame, I wasn't that excited to see it.
I can see both sides. So I'm not like a massive Marvel fan. I'm probably more of a Marvel fan than any other kind of what would you call it? Probably like series, I guess. So I'm not a massive Hogwarts fan, Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
I'm super keen for the game, but I'm not seeing all the movies. I would put that out there.
Yeah.
But like Star Wars, when I was younger, I used to be a massive fan. Also, massive Spider-Man fan when I was younger. So I'd probably be like a Star Wars Marvel fan more than anything now. Love the movies, like just singularly love movies. I haven't seen all of them, like the Captain Marvel and all that. I haven't seen them, even Ant-Man. Like, who wants to go watch that?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
So the movies I don't think are underrated, but the people that like devote their entire life, not life, but like entire time and energy when this thing comes out, and they're like doing the full-on connect the dots, and they go and watch the movie 4 times to go spot every little Easter egg on how it's going to link up to the other part of the timeline. Like, get a life, bro. Come on. You cannot tell me that you enjoy doing that. Like, yeah, it's cool, and like stuff like the massive ones like Endgame and Infinity War, that's sick, right? When everything comes together and you're like, okay. But the amount of shit that people put up online because of it is disgusting.
Yeah.
So the movies itself not overrated, but the MCU like timeline and stuff like that, that's gotta be the most overrated thing I've seen.
Yeah, I can't even say.
And I'm a Marvel fan saying that. It's just so many people hype it up for probably a bit more than what it should be.
Yeah, I've seen Endgame, and I saw it like bloody ages after it got released to like cinemas and stuff like that. But like, you could ask me what happens, and all I know is like from the memes of like when he clicks his finger, like I couldn't tell you like the events that happened. I know there was a fucking war. I know that I don't even know which episode or which movie it was, because I know, is there 3 Avengers movies? Is it? Or it might even be 4. I don't even know. But I know one of them that like Thanos, big Thanos, Thanos, he kills like half of like the population. I'm pretty sure, and like Spider-Man dies and stuff. Or I don't even, yeah, I think Spider-Man dies, and but somehow comes back to life. I don't know, but yeah, I reckon it's pretty overrated.
Like with like the snap of the fingers, he turns all of them to like, I don't know, like it's like they'll turn to dust basically.
Yeah.
And then the next half of the movie is like, oh, so that's like the first part of Infinity War, and then Endgame is like like Doctor Strange like opens a portal and they all manage to come back and defeat like Thanos' army basically.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's sick. It's sick. Like and especially when they're all like links up stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But to be one of those guys that knows every single part of the MCU, like when I watched when I watched Endgame, I was with like ex-girlfriend, her sister, and her boyfriend at the time, right?
Yeah.
And we went to go watch it, and
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm not name dropping. I'm done with name dropping on this
Yeah.
podcast. No free clout.
Fair enough.
So anyway, we got to watch it. Her boyfriend, not me, like so her sister's boyfriend at the
Yeah.
time. So her sister's ex actually, cried. He cried,
Fucking
genuinely
hell.
cried when he opened the like the Doctor Strange's little hand thing, and all the portals open up and people start coming out to verse Thanos. He cried, and I was like, I was like sitting like near him, and I was just like, and I was like, what? And I looked at the side, his tear dropping down, and I was like, surely not. I was like, I get it. I was like, no, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, like, but as like some people are like him. But I was like, I'm a pretty big Marvel fan, and I'm not crying this. Surely you're not gonna cry.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. I want to ask you a question. Do you like romance movies? Like, will you sit down and happily like watch like a heartthrob, rom com or whatever they call it? Like, would you sit down and watch what's a heartthrob movie? I don't even know what they are. Like, um, I don't even know what.
Actually, wait one sec. I think I'm just making sure I got the correct. Is that a movie?
Like 10 Things I Hate About
Was,
You. Like,
so
we sit
I
down and
know.
watch
Look,
that.
I'm not one to watch it. I'm not against it. I guess if I'm with a girl and she wants to watch one, I'm not going to be like, ew, no. Like, I'm just not my go-to type of movie. Admittedly, I actually did cry to one time. It just caught me completely off guard, and I cried at the end of it. And I was like, how has that happened? I'm not a massive crier.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something about that movie just hit a heartstring. I started crying. I was like, I did the same thing as old mate in the Marvel cinemas. I had like a stuffy nose. And ex at the time looks at me and she's like, "Are you crying?" And I'm like, "Nah, don't worry about it. I'm fucking sobbing and shit." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Do you remember what movie it was? Or nah?
Look, I think it's called something. Is it? It's not love. It's not Love Actually, is it?
Nah, Love Actually is the Christmas one.
Is Love Actually the Christmas one?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it? I want to say it's like I for some reason got like yes, no, maybe in my head, but that's apparently a that's apparently a TV show, not a movie. But it was like I don't know. It's hard to wait. I think it is.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. I'm correct. Yeah. So yes, no, maybe. If you're ever watching it, if you're ever watching with a girl, just know at the end I cried.
Oh, it's a book. I'm not gonna read that.
Is it a book? No, it's a movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna stick with that. It's this one. It might not be, but basically, I'll give you a little rundown. Pretty much, it's about this guy and girl, and it's like they go see his parents for something. Like it's his parents, right? But then I think it's like his dad like is a ghost or something like that. Like doesn't actually exist, but you don't know that until the end. And it's how touching. It's like because apparently like him and his dad, because his dad like it's like him because like him and his dad like never had like a good like relationship or whatever like that. Like his dad like wasn't there or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just hit me, and I was like, Jesus, like what has happened? I'm just currently going back to our original early conversation earlier. I'm looking for if there's any Jeremy Cameron news, considering we are 40 minutes away from the deadline. It's 7:30 p.m. deadline. So, well, what time is it over there?
It's 6:50.
6:50.
Yeah.
So we've got 40 minutes. Hopefully something's coming up.
Nothing's happened yet. I know Melbourne, they've done a swap trade, which isn't that exciting. What it's called, a pick swap, sorry. But yeah.
Ooh. Big news coming for Treloar.
Oh yeah.
So, just in, Sam McClure, the Western Bulldogs have stopped dealing with Essendon. They now want Dunkley and Treloar on the same team next year. The Dogs have offered a future second-round pick for Treloar. So that could be big. If they can manage to get both of those players,
Holy shit.
That would definitely boost them into the A. That would be huge.
And I remember, like, it was yesterday, and I saw, I think, someone on the radio, because, have you ever listened to SEN on the radio? Probably haven't. It's pretty, I don't know why, I'm pretty much a boomer now, because I hang around, like, these adults, so I kind of turned into, like, one of those fucking kids that listen to the AM radio on the way to work, which I don't mind listening to Tim Watson and, oh, fuck, the Melbourne, Gary Allen, I don't even know, I forgot who it was, but yeah, I've kind of turned into a little bit of a boomer, and a caller rang in and said, "Oh, do you reckon Treloar and Dunkley could still play in the same team?" And I said, "Oh, surely not, no way." Like, but if they do, that midfield is insane. Like, and
that would have the best midfield in the competition by miles. You'd have Jack McRae on the wing, but you also have the Bont. You'd have Dunkley as well as Treloar. The only thing is that you'd hate to be wanting to go for a Brownlow on that team.
True, exactly.
Like I Bontempelli, like you'll be Bontempelli wanting to pick up another Brownlow, and the amount of votes that it would be getting shared between that team. But do you reckon they'd be a sneaky chance for the 2021 Premiership then?
I reckon.
They've also revamped they've revamped their ruckman. That was a massive down point of the Bulldogs last year, was them losing ruck taps. They've got Steph Martin, who's no slouch in the ruck. So really, if they can get some more clearances going on, who they have forward? You need
Aaron Norton, which he's alright.
Who they picked up a gun forward that didn't do anything at all last year.
Oh, Josh Bruce.
Gun forward. Josh Bruce, that's it. Yeah. If he can have an all right season, and then you've got Norton. Isn't Tim English? He plays forward ruck, doesn't he?
He plays more ruck. I wouldn't say he plays too much forward, but when he does play,
you get. Sorry, just putting the MacBook on charge. Starting to get a little bit laggy. But yeah, no. If the Bulls can up their production a little bit, and with that midfield, they definitely have to be a sneaky chance for the 2021 Premiership.
I feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad for Josh Dunkley, because I think he even admitted that he wants more midfield time, so that's why he wanted to move to Essendon. But like, for me, I'd probably rather win a Premiership than play the role that you want to play. I don't know if that's like. Yeah. That's probably the unselfish thing to do anyway. But after he wins a chip, you might as well move to Essendon. But yeah, if you're moving to Essendon, you're pretty much going there for fat cash and also to be a bit happier with your position, but unhappy with the position that you end up on the ladder, because you'll probably end up like bottom 4, bottom 5. So yeah, it's interesting.
So I've just brought on. We hadn't on the segment in a few weeks. Not had a lot of sports to bet on. So the 1 to 1,000 challenge hasn't really progressed anywhere. We are still currently at $8. Towards our 1,000. But I've just gone to chuck on a cheeky. Just have a look at the odds for the 2021 Premiership winner. And so I've got Richmond paying at $4 for next year. Geelong at $6. But Western Bulldogs are $18. I don't know before this gets announced, because once it gets announced, the odds I reckon will go down a little bit into that within $10 range. Do I put on, for example, $5 right now on Western Bulldogs? Call it early. Hopefully they don't lose Dunkley. They do pick up Treloar. It's investments, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. because obviously great teams have great, obviously midfield. So you look at Richmond and they have a great midfield, but like you kind of want that strong spine as well. And I don't think their spine is that strong. Like you look at a Richmond and they could easily go back to back to back. Geelong will be insane next year if they do get Jeremy Cameron. Even if they don't, I think they'll still perform really well. But I don't know.
You'd have to think the Eagles would be looking for redemption after losing to Collingwood last year.
Yeah, or West Coast
you'd have to say they're on the hunt. You'd also have to say You'd have to say Brisbane would also have to be on the hunt as well, surely.
It's so hard, like, to predict, and obviously we'll do our little predictions probably a bit closer to the season starting, because I actually can't wait to do that. And we should do a little Big Bash, because Big Bash is coming up. Welcome to the summer of cricket. Got my little t-shirt ready.
We've actually had the lineups released. Will I can't say his last name, got selected. Cam Green got selected.
Yeah.
Michael Nessa or whatever his name is, he got selected. I'm pretty sure that's a bit of a shout.
Yeah.
I don't know how too much about him, but apparently he's pretty good. Apparently he gets snubbed quite a bit, is what I was reading about. But I'm not massive into my cricket, but I'm starting to get a lot more into it. I actually had a dream about cricket last night, so I'm gonna go buy a bat and bowl.
I ran a cricket academy session today at school, so that was pretty good. So I could say I'm pretty good at cricket, but I'm actually... how many wickets did I get today? Got 3 wickets, so I'm pretty much Mitchell Stark at this point. But next week, we should probably start wrapping things up, unless you've got more things to talk about. But next week we can talk a bit more about the Big Bash, because there's been a few trades. Not sure when the first test is, but it's obviously coming up because it's getting pretty close to the end of November when they start to have those type of competitions when we verse India. But we'll start predicting the lineups.
India apparently going for their quarantine.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, because they're at the same place as the New South Wales Blues, who actually won yesterday in State of Origin for the rugby fans.
Which is interesting. What were the odds?
No one really cares about.
Yes. What were the odds for New South to win?
So, because New South Wales, so I'm not a huge rugby fan, but I do watch it a little bit. I guess to be fair though, you'd have to say it's either most popular or second most popular sport in Australia, depending on who you ask. See, because me and you were, See, you especially, we're both WA guys. You're also living in Melbourne. You could probably claim you're like a Melbourne guy, Victoria bloke. Both of those are footy states, but then you've got New South Wales, Queensland, that are rugby states as well. So you'd probably, if I ask any Queenslander, they'd say rugby's most popular game in Australia.
Yeah.
Ask one of us, you'd say footy is.
Yeah.
But so New South Wales have won. I think I don't know. They've won ever since I've watched it for the past 5 years. New South Wales have won it. New South Wales have not always been, probably Queensland had their run of dominance, but New South Wales have been showing a bit of run of dominance recently. So it's a bit of a surprise that they actually lost that first game. So they weren't paying too far off. They were paying $1.80 or something like that. But I'd be definitely putting money on New South Wales to win the series for next week.
Because I thought about it. So it was a surprise that they lost the first game, but I was making a footy quiz, not even a footy quiz, just like a normal sport quiz, and one of the questions I want to put up was who won the series last time, and I was looking, and it's more predominantly you see New South Wales winning, but Queensland will win the odd series pretty much. So if New South win it twice, then they'll win the next one, or if New South win it 3 times, they'll win the next one. But even last year, because I know that you went to the Perth game, and didn't Queensland win that one? Or was that... Actually, I can't remember. So was that the first game of the series?
Which...
Because
I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure New South Wales won that game. I don't think Queensland won it.
Okay.
And I think it might have even been... Was it the third? So I know that this year because each year they have one game in Queensland, one game in New South Wales, and then the third game is just somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they did it in Perth for it, and it ended up going. I think it might have even been the third game, and I think New South Wales had already had the series locked up at that point.
Yeah.
Like won the first 2 games, and then got into it. But
No, I don't think it was. So I reckon that Queensland won the first game of the series last time, and so New South Wales, because I was surprised as well, and New South Wales went on to smash them in the second game, and then it was up to the third game, like this year, and I think they were able to win by about 6, I guess, well they call it 6 points or whatever, but I'd put like a lot of money on bloody New South to win the series and win the game. Not gonna lie, don't know if you can do a multi.
They did actually win a 2-1. My bad.
Yeah, so I think that first game is like Queensland.
It was so yeah. So the game I went to was the second game.
Yeah,
of the series where Queensland won the first game, and then absolutely smashing of Queensland in the second one, 6-38.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But should we put $8 on New South to win? Bring back revive the segment. Should we do it?
All right, yeah. Twist my arm. All right, we're putting $8 on New South Wales to win the series.
Sweet.
Origin.
I'll be watching that really closely. I don't know when it is. Probably like tomorrow or.
Are we doing a little bit of a same game multi?
Oh, nah. I don't know. Up to you. I would say nah. I don't know any of the players.
So got New South to win anytime try scorer. Where are they? I know that a few. So Josh Addo-Carr's a god, right? Nathan Cleary was second in MVP this year. But I don't know. The one guy I'm looking for is not even on here. But I know that Josh Addo-Carr, Tedesco, and Cleary are gods. But we'd have to make it a multi if you don't want. Because the odds for New South Wales to win are paying $1.43. Don't know if you want to boost those up a little bit. They're pretty short odds.
They are pretty short. Just letting you know that I wasn't too happy. So you know how the US election went for longer than anticipated because some states took longer to count their votes than others, and so I'm pretty sure I think the election day was on a Thursday, and then Joe Biden didn't get announced until like the Monday or the Sunday. But PointsBet took so long to. I think they were waiting for like Donald Trump to come out and like change everything so that they wouldn't pay out their like winners, even though Sportsbet did it like not even before they even got elected, they got paid out. So I'm happy to see that I've got heaps of money in my account at the moment. No, not really, but I'm happy. Well, I don't mind. I'm happy to do whatever we can do. Because obviously the $8 on the winner would probably be the safest option. We can do I know $4 on like a more riskier bet. It's I don't mind.
Well, I'm just thinking as well. So we've got another big thing. I know it's not a massive popular game. I personally enjoy my golf. The Masters starts tonight. So if you want to chuck a little bit of a why does that keep going? But there is some good bets out at the moment. We could even put like a golfer to win. Probably not do a what's the word? Outright on it, just because there's about 4 different people that can win at the moment. But
yeah. So how long does the Masters go for? I know nothing about golf.
So Masters is it's a couple days. So they play 2 rounds of the course. I think it's 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And then it says like lowest score, like under whatever like that. So what I personally probably would. Can I multi that? Yeah. So oh no, I can't multi that one. That was. Let me bring that up. See what the. Okay. It's actually not bad, I guess. So if we were to go with New South Wales to win, so that's paying $1.43.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the Masters, they've got an option for big guns versus the field. So basically, as I was saying, there's like 4 or 5 people that are like favorites to win the Masters, which is Jay J Rum. I think his name's John Rum. Never heard of him before. You got Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, and Bryson DeChambeau.
Mm-hmm.
They're the big guns of the Masters, the 5 favorites. So it's them. It's either any of them 5 to win it, or the field. So if we were to go for one of the big guns, to win it, that's not like an outsider, then we'd get 2-leg multi for $3.37 power played. Put $8 on that. That's $26. But you could even, if you want to make it even more diversified multi, there is other sports going on. There's gridiron that we could try to chuck in there, put it up a bit more.
That's pretty much relying on you, to be honest, because I don't know anything about gridiron.
Yeah, in this game, it's tomorrow morning. Definitely take Tennessee in that one. Takes up to $6.71.
Yeah, I've heard that. I say I don't know anything, but there was apparently that's a little bit of a Mickey Mouse game tomorrow. Like, no one really knows who's gonna win. Oh no, sorry, everyone knows who's gonna win. Like, there's a good team in it and a bad team.
I'd say they're both pretty even, I guess. Indianapolis aren't slouches, but you'd have to just take Tennessee are actually not even the favorites. Indianapolis are, but Tennessee do have one of the best running backs in the NFL. Not bad quarterback or coach, pretty good defense. So you probably have to take them over that. So that's thing, and then you have some World Cup qualifiers going on. If you wanted to chuck a soccer multi on,
you could actually.
There's everything. There's everything. There's Argentina versus Paraguay on tonight.
Yeah, chuck someone on that. Is Messi playing?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I know that Argentina are $1.28 to win.
Mm-hmm.
$5 for a draw, or Paraguay $9.50 for a win.
Well, I can't even name a Paraguay player, so let's put everything on. Let's put the house on Argentina on the win. That one.
So it's 4-leg multi. This is for us to end the thing. So we got the big guns to win. We got New South Wales to win.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Titans to win, and Argentina to win. Paying $8.79. Put $8 on that. That's $70.33.
Let's go. Oh, that's a winner.
Big. That is big.
That's huge. And so we'll let you guys know next week when we have all that money in our account.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out tomorrow morning when you're up and I wake up. It's the game. The NFL game will be on, and if we lose that, then we fucked our multi. But surely we won't. So yeah, that's been placed.
And normally, or it's either. Actually, I don't think I've ever done a multi like that. Or actually, a lie. So when you do a multi like that and you have multiple results that you need, normally the first leg will lose. Like my Man United won when they were versing that shit team. That was the first leg to happen that day, and I was like, oh, that's good. Not being because then I had Chelsea playing 3 hours later, and Juventus and I think Barca playing 3 hours later, and of course that one loses, so the whole thing gets lost even though the other ones win. So I was kind of regretting that. But normally it's either the first leg that loses or the last leg that you have will lose. And you see all the green ticks and you're like, let's go, we won't pay it out, we'll just wait. And then you see, and then you realize they're losing, you're like, oh shit.
If I have a look, and there's a $30 cash out or something like that, and all the other games are being played, but the Masters still going on, and it's not looking, if it's not looking bad, but not looking fantastic either, I'm cashing out for $30. Because $30 is better than nothing. In my opinion, exactly. I've always learned you got to be smart. Cash out feature. A lot of people hate on it. A lot of people say to just let it ride. But I'm a big fan of the cash out feature on Sportsbet.
Yeah. Well, Youngie had another big win. Obviously, he got Messi, but he had a $50 bet on Joe Biden to win Richmond to win the granny. There's a few other bets there that I was able to get lucky. He had a Fremantle player to win Rookie of the Year. I can't remember. It had who? Yeah, Sarong. Yeah.
Okay, Sarong. Yeah.
He had LeBron. Oh no, he had the Lakers to win the chip, and I think there was one more. So he was able to win. I think it was about $1,000. So Youngie continues to get on that winning streak, but
Yeah. So I guess that's the wrap up episode 8 of the Shaggers show. We'll go hop on FIFA, open up some rewards, get nothing, and complain about it the next 7 days until we get our next rewards.
Yeah, everyone, good luck. Good luck with your PlayStation 5s. I'm sure they're going to be sick. Unlucky if you weren't able to get one. I'm sure your mum's going to have one waiting for you at Christmas time anyway, or in the new year. But yeah, enjoy the new Spider-Man game. Enjoy what else is coming out. The new COD's coming out soon.
New Harry Potter game. No COD came out today. Harry Potter game's coming out.
But,
like, subscribe, share it, please. If you're trying to get those numbers up.
Yeah. Catch you later.